Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Adam 22. I know what you want me to talk about right now. You guys want me to talk about what happened the other day in the situation with the robbery attempt. Well, here's the thing. I did a podcast with Logan Paul yesterday, so you can go check that out. It's on the Impulsive YouTube channel. I also did Drama Alert, where I talked about it, and I did some regular stuff with like regular news channels and stuff. Now, that being said, you saw the title. I'm still going to talk about it, but just let me get a couple of these news stories out of the way first. For people who don't know, if this is your first time on the channel, this is what I do over here on this channel. The aim is to create like a sort of daily digest of relevant news. Right now, basically just hip-hop, but at some point, maybe we'll expand a bit and focus on other things as well. I'm constantly trying to evolve my content on this channel. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, but I will be talking about the robbery at the end of this video, as long as you slap a like on it and drop a comment. First story, Lil Pump quit weed. Oh, no, he didn't quit weed. He quit weed for like a couple hours on social media, and all these different websites felt the need to post stories about it. Like, oh, look, Lil Pump quit weed. And then, oh, now we get to post another article because here's Lil Pump smoking a blunt. Isn't this crazy? No, it's not crazy. It's him taking advantage of the fact that everybody's so fucking stupid and easy to fool. So that's basically the entire story. Next story, Lil Pump, Kodak Black, the youth of Florida. They're wildin'. Kodak Black has been making some headlines because of a song lyric in a recent song where he made it clear that he wants to fuck young M.A. Now, I assume that this was kind of a joke. He's sort of just messing around. I don't know if Kodak really thinks that she's attractive. She's made it pretty clear that she's a lesbian, so the idea of him having sex with her doesn't really seem like it's probably going to happen. I know there's a lot of lesbians out there that might be interested in maybe hooking up with a guy or whatever. It doesn't really seem like young M.A. is the type. So she went on her Instagram and actually made it sort of clear. If you check out a piece of this clip here.
Hey, I keep talking about this Kodak situation, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, yo. Obviously, weird, bro. Obviously, he on some, bro. I know I'm a female, stupid.
Yeah, you can see there that she's a little bit annoyed by all this, and she thinks it's kind of in bad taste for Kodak Black to be, sort of making it clear that he wants to sleep with her when there's no indication that she wants to sleep with him. So in response, Kodak Black went onto his Instagram Live, and he had some choice words.
I'm talking about how you a girl but don't want your pussy penetrated.
So you guys heard that right here. The main line that it seems has really pissed people off was when Kodak said, "I'm talking about how you a girl and you don't want your pussy penetrated," which is really funny from my perspective. Like, that's a funny joke to make. The problem is that Kodak is facing a first-degree felony rape charge, and when you contextualize it and sort of look at it in comparison to the fact that he's facing down this rough accusation, maybe not as funny. Some people have been wilding on Twitter. Like, let's just dive in and check out a few of the more popular examples. For instance, this one right here. It's very, very, very strange that Kodak Black, a man facing a rape charge, and I don't understand why they blank out rape unless they're afraid that their tweet is going to get like shadow banned or something. Or maybe it's kind of a trigger warning thing. Like, they don't want people to get upset by the word, although it shouldn't really take long for you to figure out that the asterisk is supposed to be an A in this case. Anyway, back to the tweet. Is harassing young M.A. for sex, and the internet finds it funny. This place just gets weirder. Now, to that, I would respond that a lot of people probably don't know about Kodak's upcoming rape charge, or they just don't care. Anyway, moving on. Next one. Okay, so here's another tweet here where she says, Kodak Black publicly harassing young M.A. for sex as if he wasn't charged with felony first-degree criminal sexual conduct and doesn't have an upcoming rape trial they should be worried about. Basically the same content as the last tweet that I read, except that this one has 44,000 likes. So this is definitely a message that seems to be resonating with some people. But to her credit, young M.A., after the initial rebuke where she just made it clear that she didn't think it was funny and she thought Kodak Black was a goofy for even saying it. I don't believe she said his name, but she definitely was making it clear that she didn't appreciate the energy. She put up this clip today. So as you can see, she's just sort of munching on some pancakes and having a laugh, which I think realistically, given how popular Kodak Black is, it's probably best for her to just sort of go along with the joke and acknowledge it as being funny and not take offense to it. That would be my advice career-wise. Obviously, if she wants to get offended, that is by all means her right, since what Kodak is saying is pretty ridiculous. And to say that about somebody who doesn't know or have any kind of friendship or relationship with, it could definitely be seen as being in bad taste, especially given his circumstances. But at the same time, I'm glad that Young M.A. seems to be at least sort of having fun with it, because I think that's what's going to ultimately endear her to people. Next story. You'll recall that last time I did one of these videos, I was talking about the whole situation with YBN Almighty Jay getting jumped and having his chain stolen, and Jay Prince trying to get it back. Well, it seems, based on this Instagram post, that Jay Prince did in fact get the chain back. I will spare you, and I'm not going to read the entire caption because it's a little long, but it would appear that French Montana was one of the people that helped Jay Prince and his son Jay Prince Jr. get the chain back for YBN Almighty Jay. We'll see where things go from here for Jay. He posted up a video of him just sort of driving around the car, so at least he's out of the hospital and moving around. I don't know if he's ready to do an interview at any time soon, but it's good that you got the chain back too. Next story, Zillakami. Zillakami posted a photo on Instagram of him being arrested at the airport, I believe on his way to South by Southwest. A lot of people were sharing different theories about what might have happened in this situation. At first, some people were suggesting that the issue was a machete that he might have been accidentally trying to fly with. Luckily, it seems that that's not true, and in reality, he was just being picked up for an old warrant. Now, we don't know how serious the old warrant is. Warrants come in all shapes and sizes, but at least good to know that he didn't get picked up with a machete, because in case you guys missed this, Joel Santana is about to do 2 years in prison, over 2 years in prison, because he accidentally left a gun in his bag when he went to the airport, and also he's got a kid on the way, so he's going to miss the first couple of years of the kid's life, which I find really depressing. So shout out to Joel Santana, and to a lesser extent, shout out to Zillakami, because he's not in anywhere near as much trouble. Next story. Oh, can I just talk about this funny ass clip that we can't really even play the music from because it is copyrighted and we don't want to get in trouble? Well, this clip came out of G Herbo's baby mama, and she is just going off on the stage in the club, and then they played a G Herbo song, and she just gets fully just angry as hell. She is not having it. Man, it's too bad. Can't you just enjoy the music of your old ex, even if you're mad at them, even if you fight all the time on the phone, whatever, even if you have nothing to do with each other, because it just makes me so mad to even look at each other? Can't you still get down to a banger in the club? And also, why is her wig that long? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen a wig this long. It's like, we know it's fake. Why have it be that long and green? Why is it so long? I don't understand. It's not for me necessarily, but yeah. Anyway, okay, next story. This is what you guys really probably wanted to hear me talk about. So let me just begin with a quick description of what I'm talking about, and I guess we can play the clip, preferably with no audio, so we don't get claimed by those bastards at UMG who do not like the fact that there was a Post Malone song playing in this clip. Anyway, basically, I was at the store doing one of our live streams, listening to music. You guys were donating. It was a good time. We had just ordered Bossa Nova because we definitely had at least a couple more hours of streaming in us at that time, and we were about to dig into some delicious Brazilian food. My guy Chris was posted up by the door with his strap the whole time to make sure that nothing crazy happened, even though I'll admit that we've done enough of these streams that the likelihood of something crazy happening seems very low. Like, it just doesn't seem like anybody would be stupid enough to show up and try to start something. Well, anyway, our Postmates came, and as the door was open, there's a guy snuck in to the room, and he pointed a gun at my head, and now we know that the gun is a fake gun. It's like a movie prop gun. Who knows where this guy got it? But at the time, it seemed kind of real. Actually, for a moment, it seemed kind of fake. Like, at first, for the first couple seconds, it was just like, what? Are you serious? I thought for sure that there had to be like a cameraman about to jump out and everything. And the whole thing seemed so weird to me because the guy was just all jumpy. It just, when I think about the situation, if he had walked into the room and just, not even walked, if he had ran in and just took the gun and put it to my dome, I would have been terrified to move, right? Probably, maybe, I don't know. But the way the guy was acting, where he was just jumping all over the place, it didn't really strike me as all that scary. And it also just seemed so goofy because the thing that came out of his mouth was, "Give me all your money." Now, I, like most Americans, I don't carry any money basically at any given time. Like I might have a couple $100 in my pocket, maybe on a balling ass day I might have 1,000, but I mean I don't really have much money on me at any given time. So that was weird, and it just didn't seem that serious. And the thing that you can't see on camera is that Chris had the beam on him as soon as the guy came in. The guy points the gun at me, and I could already see Chris behind him with his gun pointed at this guy's head. So in my head, I'm thinking, what? Like, what is actually happening right here? There was a part of me that was more concerned about Chris blowing this guy's head off rather than this guy shooting me. But I mean, again, all that thought and everything that was being processed in my brain all took place in the course of like 3 seconds. And then by the end of that, like, I grabbed him by the legs and took him down, and Chris was holding his upper body, and he snatched the gun away from him and kicked him in the head a bunch of times, and then the cops came and they arrested him. We don't know too much about the guy, except that my honest opinion is that this was the work of someone who is either psychotic or on a lot of drugs, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me if someone was just trying to, cloud up. If somebody wanted to cloud up, I don't really see this as a rational way to try to do so. It's not like you could just do this and then just brag about it afterwards, because obviously it's a pretty serious crime, even if you got away with it, and even if you have a toy gun. And then in the same sense, it's not like the work of a intelligent, thinking criminal, because this is not really a plan that I think would work out that well. And for various reasons, we do know that he was watching the stream before he entered. I'm not going to go into how we know that, but I mean, that's kind of crazy too, because it's obvious that there's like at least a couple people in the room. And I'm going to be honest with you, is that if you just have one handgun and there's a whole bunch of people, unless you manage to actually control the situation from the beginning, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get overpowered, which is actually what happened. So anyway, pretty scary, sad situation, just in the sense that, like, Jesus, this kid almost got killed right in front of me. It's hard for me to feel angry at him, because I feel like this was definitely the work of someone who just had no friggin' clue what was going on. I'm really happy. I guess the main thing I feel happy about is just that Chris didn't have to take somebody's life, because that would have been really, really unfortunate. And in the wake of this situation, and if you want to know what happened afterwards, like, we called the cops came, they took statements from all of us that were pretty brief, and then they photographed the area, and then they walked him out of there as he slowly regained consciousness. And then that was pretty much it, and I haven't heard from him since. And I'm still, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel almost a little weirder now, a couple days later, than I did at the time. Like, at the time, I just sort of brushed it off, to be honest. I ate my Bossa Nova, and then I went home and I smoked a blunt, and I went to bed. And now, the more I think about it, the more weird that I feel about it. Just in this, I mean, honestly, the fact that it was a movie gun doesn't really change anything, because it just as easily could have been a real gun, and it just as easily could have gone off. And I don't know, it feels weird to know that I've put myself in a situation where there are enough people who know about me that one crazy person could try something like this. I mean, like, all kinds of YouTubers have issues with people going to their houses and stuff, and I've never had that issue. Obviously, we invite people to come to the store during work hours, but I guess I'm gonna have to get a little bit more serious about protecting myself in the near future. Not sure exactly what form that's gonna take, but I mean, we got to be more careful, I guess, is the main thing. Like, we've just been back there a million times doing the streams, and we've never had any sort of issue before until the other day. So I'm going back in to do a stream like right now, and it does feel a little weird, even though, I mean, this guy getting arrested probably means that that's just like one less lunatic for me to deal with. Anyway, a lot of people are trying to say that the whole incident was fake. I actually just saw someone who got like 3,000 retweets as of this moment for saying that it was fake. I don't know how you could be that stupid, or what scenario you could have thought would unfold. I'm not even going to sit here and just like lay out all the things that occurred. Like, do you really think that we paid somebody to get kicked in the head 50 times and probably get serious brain injuries and also get arrested, and now he's been held on bail for the past few days and he's still locked up? Do you think we paid somebody to do that? Because that doesn't make any sense. Do you think that we got like 8 cops to come to the store as part of this joke? Because that also doesn't make any sense. And one thing that I noticed, like, some people said, oh, those cops look like they were hired, and somebody pointed out, like, no, you can see the numbers on their uniform, and that's the police station that's the closest to the on some shit store. So yeah, I don't really know what people could possibly think that they're saying when they say that it was fake, it was definitely real, aside from the fact that the gun was a movie gun. But obviously we did not know that. Although Chris said that when he was wrestling the gun out of the guy's hands, that he could kind of tell that it was spray painted, and that's what stopped him partially from shooting the guy at that moment, was because he just felt like, and we both honestly thought that it was a joke. Like we thought that it had to be some kind of prank until, we were beating the crap out of him, and then nobody jumped out with a camera or anything. And then we realized, like, oh, this is not a joke. This is actually a crazy person. Anyway, I guess that's really all I got to say about that situation. I'm sure that I'm going to end up talking about it more on live stream and everything, but I did want to just sort of highlight some of the facts about what happened and everything. I'm sure we're probably going to learn a lot more in the upcoming future about exactly what happened and everything, but I did want to cover that, since I guess it is hip-hop news to some extent, and that's kind of what I do here. So there's your story. Hopefully I'm back pretty soon with some news. I'm going to be honest, my life has been ridiculously busy since this happened, just because I've been having to drive around and do all this stupid press that I don't really want to do, but I've always just been told my whole life that if you have the opportunity to do press, to be on camera for a big outlet, you got to do it. And sometimes you have to take a bad situation and manipulate it so that it helps you, even though it's not the ideal situation. There's probably a lot of people who are finding out about No Jumper right now because some psychopath almost kind of sort of tried to shoot me with a fake gun. I appreciate you guys. Again, drop a like, drop a comment. I will be back soon, I hope. We dropped all kinds of awesome content on the No Jumper channel recently, including the Lil Pump interview / vlog that we did recently. It's finally out. We put up a whole bunch of the IRL stream clips as well, like the thing that we make out of all the clips from when we do the live stream. Bunch of those are live now as well, and I definitely just want to remind you guys that if you turn on notifications for the No Jumper channel, then you won't miss when we go on live, when we do a stream. We've been doing a lot of these streams in the store, which I realize from a security perspective is definitely probably the kind of thing that we should not be doing, and probably the kind of thing that led to the situation the other day. But fuck it, we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep providing you with the content, even if that's how I gotta go. I love you guys, for real. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you. NoJumper.com. Peace.